There comes a moment in every life when silence can no longer carry the weight of the soul, when the voice within you, faint, trembling, nearly drowned by years of criticism, disappointment and doubt, must finally be heard. You have spoken to others with kindness, with warmth, with mercy, with patience, and yet when you look at the mirror, the words you whisper to yourself are sharp, unforgiving, and cruel. How long will you let yourself bleed from the edges of your own tongue? How long will you be the one tearing down the very house you were entrusted to live in? For 3 days I dare you, I implore you, I command you, talk to yourself differently. Talk to yourself as if you were a child who has only just begun to walk, stumbling and smiling with fragile courage. Talk to yourself as if you were the answer to someone's prayer, the sun after years of rain, the one whom God Himself has leaned close to kiss upon the forehead. For 3 days, change the sound of your own voice to your own heart, and watch what happens. You must rise each morning not as a prisoner of yesterday's mistakes, but as the architect of tomorrow's possibilities. Stand before the dawn, whether in your kitchen or your bedroom, or by a window that holds the light of the new day, and say aloud to yourself, I am here, I am worthy, I am made with purpose. Speak it even if your throat cracks. Speak it even if doubt laughs from the corners of your mind. Speak it until your spirit begins to believe that it was never a lie. 3 days. That is all I ask of you. 3 days to treat yourself not as the enemy, but as the beloved. For if you can hold yourself in your own words like a mother holds her child, then the chains that bound your mind will begin to rust, to crumble, to fall away, and you will see, oh yes, you will see, how mighty you truly are. For too long, you have been told that humility is silence, that strength is carrying pain without complaint, that love is something you give away until there is nothing left inside your own hands. But I tell you now, strength is also standing in your own truth, and speaking to yourself with dignity. Humility is not degradation. Love is not self-erasure. Love is not a funeral you hold daily for your own dreams. Love begins when you decide to treat yourself like the sacred creation you are. For 3 days, say to yourself, I am not a mistake. I am not leftover clay. I am divine intention, pressed into flesh and bone. Say it until the lies loosen their grip, until the stories of failure begin to fade into dust, until the mirror no longer frightens you. Say it until you stand taller, until your chest expands with the pride of simply being alive. You have survived nights that tried to bury you. You have endured storms that bent your body, but could not touch the seed buried deep within your soul. You have walked into rooms where your name was mispronounced, where your worth was misunderstood, where your gifts were ignored, and still you carried yourself forward. You have been underestimated, overlooked, and misjudged, yet your breath is still here, moving steady in your chest like the ocean's tide. Do not tell me you are weak. Do not dare tell me you are broken. Broken things do not keep moving forward. Weak things do not survive the fire. You are not broken. You are being revealed. You are not weak. You are being refined. So for 3 days speak to yourself as if you know this truth. Call yourself survivor, warrior, child of God, bearer of light. Remind yourself every morning, every afternoon, every evening, until your bones remember the rhythm of resilience. And when your mind protests, and it will protest, because the old voice is stubborn, because the old voice has been your companion for too many years, do not curse yourself for hearing it. Instead, smile at it, the way one smiles at a child who does not yet understand. Say, I know you are afraid. I know you are trying to protect me, but I am safe now. I am loved now. I am strong now. Then return again to your declaration, I am worthy. Say it until your tongue grows used to its sweetness. Say it until your skin learns the warmth of its fire. Say it until heaven itself echoes back. Yes, my child, yes you are. Do not underestimate what 3 days can do. Do not underestimate the alchemy of words, the sacred medicine of the voice. For words are not idle things. Words are seeds, and when planted in the soil of your heart, they sprout into the forests you walk within tomorrow. For 3 days plant only words of life. Plant only words of strength. Plant only words of joy, of abundance, of dignity. And watch, oh watch, how the ground of your soul shifts, how the garden of your mind begins to bloom. You may think 3 days is small, but ask the seed how small a sunbeam feels. Ask the river how small a drop of rain is. Ask your lungs how small a single breath seems when life hangs in the balance. 3 days is enough to turn the tide. So in these 3 days, look at yourself not with suspicion, but with compassion. Lay down the whip you have used upon your own back. Lay down the insults you have hurled into your own heart, and instead take up gentleness, take up tenderness, take up the power of encouragement. Become your own choir, singing over yourself hymns of hope. Become your own prophet, speaking into your life a vision of what can be. Become your own mother, your own father, your own friend, your own healer. For if you do not learn to speak kindly to yourself, then every compliment given by another will fall flat, every opportunity will feel unearned, every blessing will seem undeserved. But when you honor yourself with your words, then the praise of others will not surprise you, it will simply confirm what you already know. Then I tell you, beloved, it is not enough to merely whisper these truths into the silence of your bedroom, and let them die there. No, they must live in you, walk with you, breathe with you, until they become the very cadence of your life. Let them echo in your stride, let them color your laughter, let them strengthen your hands when you reach for dreams that once felt too far away. For 3 days I ask you to cradle your heart with words that do not wound but heal, words that do not diminish but magnify, words that do not bind but set free. For 3 days call yourself beautiful even when no mirror agrees. Call yourself strong even when your knees tremble. Call yourself chosen even when the world looks elsewhere. For 3 days feed your soul with the truth that you are more than the mistakes behind you, more than the labels slapped upon you, more than the scars you carry. Say it until the marrow in your bones sings it back. You must understand that for too long you have been fluent in the language of despair. You have memorized the vocabulary of doubt, the grammar of self-hatred, the dialect of defeat. It rolls off your tongue so easily. You do not even notice when you curse yourself. You say, I can't, I'm not enough, I'll never change, who am I to try? And each word cuts deeper than a knife. But I say to you, if you can speak curses over your life with such power, then surely you can speak blessings with even greater force. Surely you can turn your own voice into a wellspring of strength. For 3 days, trade every insult for a blessing. When your mind says, I can't, you answer, but I will. When your heart trembles, whisper, I am safe. When the world laughs, declare, I am still worthy. Speak back to yourself with a ferocity that startles the dark. Speak with the tenderness of someone who knows how fragile hope can be. And for 3 days, guard your lips from the poison of negativity, because what you say to yourself shapes the ground beneath your feet. Think of how the world has shaped you with words. Think of the teacher who once told you that you were gifted, and how those words lit a fire that carried you through a dozen storms. Think of the person who told you that you would never be anything, and how those words sank into your skin and whispered to you in the quiet hours. If the voices of others could move mountains within you, imagine the power of your own voice, if you chose to use it as balm instead of blade. For 3 days, speak into your own life as though every syllable were holy. Speak as though your words were not merely sounds but spells, shaping reality itself. Because they are. Your words have always been creating, always been forming. Speak wisely, speak boldly, speak beautifully. And you must not think that this practice is a trick of the mind, some fleeting affirmation with no root. No, it is deeper, it is spiritual, it is sacred. It is alignment with the very Creator who spoke galaxies into being. He did not build the stars with hands of clay. He called them forth with words. Let there be, he said, and there was. You were made in that same image. The power of speech was woven into your nature. That is why your words cut you so deeply. That is why they can also heal you so profoundly. For 3 days I want you to remember that you carry that divine inheritance within you. Each time you speak life into your own soul, you are echoing the very first words that ever gave breath to light. Do not waste that gift on sentences that steal from you. Do not squander that inheritance on declarations of unworthiness. No, lift your voice like an offering. For 3 days, let your words be your altar. And when the night comes, when the day has worn you thin, and your body aches from the labor of living, I want you to tuck yourself into rest with words as blankets. Say to yourself, I did enough today. I am enough today. I will rise again tomorrow. Do not let sleep find you in the arms of regret. Do not let the last voice you hear before dreams take you be the cruel echo of your failures. Instead, let your voice be the lullaby that reminds you of your dignity. For 3 nights, let yourself drift into sleep as a beloved child of the universe, guarded by the fortress of your own kind speech. And you will find that rest is sweeter when your heart is not bruised by your own hand. Now, you may ask, but what happens after these 3 days? What happens when the world presses hard against me again, when insults return, when old habits creep back? And I tell you, once you have tasted the sweetness of honoring yourself, you will not easily forget it. Once you have felt the strength that comes from speaking life instead of death, you will crave it again. And though you may stumble, though you may fall back into old patterns, the memory of those 3 days will pull you back to the truth. 3 days is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the seed, and seeds do not bloom in a moment. They require tending, watering, patience, but after 3 days, you will know the soil is fertile, you will know the ground is shifting, you will know you are capable of choosing better words, and that knowledge will never leave you. For 3 days, speak to yourself like someone who is worth the journey. And after those 3 days, when you stand taller, when you breathe deeper, when you feel lighter, remember that you can continue. You can stretch those 3 days into 3 weeks, into 3 months, into a lifetime. But it must begin somewhere. It must begin with a choice. And I ask you to make that choice now, not tomorrow, not when you feel stronger. Now, open your mouth and call yourself what you truly are: resilient, radiant, beloved, chosen, worthy, whole. Let your own ears hear what your heart has longed to hear. Let the sound of your own affirmation be louder than the whispers of doubt. For 3 days, build a sanctuary with your words, and dwell within it. Do not be afraid if you feel foolish at first. Do not be discouraged if the words feel foreign on your tongue, as though you were learning a new language. That is precisely what you are doing. You are learning to speak in the language of love to yourself. Every stumble is progress. Every awkward declaration is a step toward fluency. And soon what felt strange will become natural. Soon you will not have to force yourself to speak kindly, for kindness will rise naturally from your lips. Soon the voice within you will no longer be a critic but a companion, no longer a tormentor but a teacher. And when that day comes, you will see that the 3 days you gave to yourself were the turning point of a lifetime. So rise, my friend. Rise and speak. Rise and declare. Rise and affirm. Do not let another day pass with your own voice as your greatest enemy. Let it be your ally. Let it be your shelter. Let it be your strength. For 3 days, talk to yourself like the miracle you are, and watch as heaven itself leans close to whisper back, "Yes, yes, yes, you are." Then let me carry you even deeper, for I know your spirit is thirsty, and I will not leave you until your cup runs over. You see, when you commit to speaking to yourself with tenderness for 3 days, you are not simply reciting words, you are rewriting your story. And stories, beloved, are powerful. Stories shape the world. The stories you have been told about yourself, the stories you repeat in your quiet hours, they have built walls around you or set you free. They have chained your hands or lifted your wings. And for too long many of you have been prisoners of a story that was never even yours. Perhaps it was given to you by a parent who could not see their own worth and therefore could not reflect yours. Perhaps it was a teacher, a friend, a lover, or a stranger whose careless words struck like stones and lodged deep in your chest. Or perhaps it was your own voice, the harshest of all, born out of fear and disappointment. But hear me now, you have the power to tell a new story. You have the power to write a new beginning, and it begins with 3 days of speech that honors the truth of who you are. Do you know what happens when you change the story you tell yourself? You begin to change the way you walk into rooms. You begin to change the way you carry your shoulders, the way you look into another's eyes, the way you hold your head. When your words begin to lift you instead of bury you, confidence seeps into your bones like sunlight warming the cold. You stop shrinking in the presence of others, stop apologizing for taking up space, stop hiding your brilliance out of fear of judgment. You begin to understand that you are not here by accident. You are not a background character in someone else's play. You are a chapter worth reading, a song worth singing, a masterpiece worth beholding. For 3 days remind yourself of this truth, until your body remembers how to stand in it, until your heart beats to its rhythm. And when others look at you and wonder what has changed, you will know it began with the words you whispered to yourself in the stillness. Do not let the weight of your past convince you that you are undeserving of this practice. I know some of you carry shame that feels too heavy to put down, wounds too deep to heal with words. But I tell you, words can reach where no medicine can go. Words can seep into the cracks of a broken soul and stitch it together with invisible thread. And if you speak gently to yourself for 3 days, you will feel the first threads tightening. You will feel the first warmth returning to places you thought would stay frozen forever. You will realize that you do not need to be perfect to be worthy of kindness. You do not need to have all the answers to deserve compassion. Worthiness is not earned, it is inherited. Worthiness is your birthright. And the more you speak it, the more you will believe it. For 3 days tell yourself, I am enough. Say it until your shame begins to tremble, until your fear begins to crack, until your spirit lifts its head for the first time in years. Perhaps you doubt that 3 days can undo years of harm. But let me ask you, how many years of harm did it take for you to believe the lie? How many repetitions of cruel words, whether from your lips or another's, were needed to shape the cage you live in now? It did not take one word, it took many. It took years of reinforcement. And if words could build a prison, words can also build a palace. 3 days is the beginning of construction. 3 days is the moment you lay the first stone of freedom. And once the stone is laid, you can build upon it again and again, until you are surrounded by walls not of fear, but of faith, not of doubt but of dignity. So do not despise small beginnings. Do not scoff at 3 days. 3 days can turn sorrow into hope, weakness into strength, silence into song. And if you falter, if your lips betray you and speak the old language of despair again, do not abandon the practice. Forgive yourself. Begin again. That is the beauty of this. There is no punishment for stumbling, only the invitation to rise once more and return to the truth. For 3 days, be patient with yourself. For 3 days, honor your own becoming. For 3 days, treat your soul as sacred ground, and speak only words that heal. And when those 3 days are done, I promise you, you will feel the shift. Perhaps subtle at first, a lighter step, a softer thought, a gentler gaze at your own reflection, but it will grow. It will expand. It will spread through you like fire catching dry grass, until the whole of your being is ablaze with belief. And you must also know this. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you change the way you speak to others. For the poison you once carried in your own veins, often spilled onto those you love, though you did not mean it. But when you learn to speak kindly to yourself, kindness overflows. When you learn to affirm your own worth, you see the worth in others more clearly. When you stop condemning yourself, you lose the taste for condemning anyone else. Your words become honey, not only to your own soul but to the souls around you. And what a gift that will be, to your children, to your spouse, to your friends, to strangers you pass in the street. You will become a living well of encouragement. All because you chose for 3 days to shift the conversation within. Imagine yourself, 3 days from now, looking into a mirror and smiling, not because the face in the glass has changed, but because the voice inside has. Imagine walking into the world, not with the heavy burden of self-loathing, but with the steady rhythm of self-respect. Imagine resting at night, not with the sting of your own insults, but with the gentle embrace of your own approval. This is not fantasy. This is not unreachable. This is the fruit of 3 days of intentional speech. This is the harvest of love, sown into your own heart. And once you taste it, you will not want to return to the bitterness of the past. So I ask you again, rise and begin. Do not wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. Right now, open your mouth and declare something true about yourself. Say it with trembling if you must, but say it. For 3 days, do not let a sunrise or sunset pass without affirming your worth. For 3 days, do not let a meal, a task, a step go by without reminding yourself that you are alive for a reason. For 3 days, let your own words become the balm you have searched for in every corner of the world. And when those 3 days are done, step into the next 3, and then the next, until you have built a life woven with affirmations so strong, no lie can unravel them. Because you, beloved, are not ordinary. You are not here to simply endure. You are not here to be the echo of other people's opinions. You are here to create, to shine, to stand tall, to love deeply, to walk boldly. And if you would only speak to yourself with the reverence you deserve, you would feel it, you would see it, you would live it. For 3 days, talk to yourself like you are the miracle you are. And watch how the world begins to agree. And yet even after all this, some part of you may still hesitate. Some part of you may still whisper, but I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know if I am capable of talking to myself like I am somebody sacred. Let me answer that trembling voice right now, with all the certainty I have gathered through years of watching people rise from the dust. Yes, you do deserve it. And yes, you are capable. You are capable because the same mouth that has carried insults can carry blessings. The same tongue that has sharpened itself against your own soul can soften itself into a song of comfort. The same breath that has been wasted on regret can be used to water seeds of joy. Do you see the miracle? The very instrument that wounded you is the same instrument that can heal you. You do not need anything new, anything borrowed, anything beyond what you already possess. You need only the courage to open your mouth and choose new words for 3 days. Courage is all, and courage, my beloved, is already inside you, waiting to be claimed. Think of your life as a river. Words are the currents that direct its flow. For years perhaps your words have carved trenches of sorrow, gullies of despair, channels of doubt. And so your river has run heavy with the sediment of shame, with the mud of fear, with the stones of defeat. But rivers can change course. Do not think otherwise. With 3 days of new words you begin to redirect the current. Slowly, perhaps quietly at first, but it happens. The water shifts. The path bends. And with enough time, that same river that once carried the debris of self-condemnation can sparkle with clarity, can run with joy, can nourish fields of hope on its banks. This is not fanciful thinking. This is the truth of transformation. It begins with words. It begins with 3 days. It begins with the decision to no longer poison your own river but to cleanse it with the sweetness of affirmation. And let us be honest, beloved. The world already speaks enough cruelty. The world already spits enough venom. The world already shouts that you are too much, not enough, too late, too different. Why would you, out of all voices, join that chorus against yourself? Why would you, the one who knows the storms you've weathered, the battles you've fought in silence, the nights you've survived without applause, turn your tongue into another weapon? No, it must stop here. It must stop with you. For 3 days, silence the voice of cruelty inside, and replace it with the voice of compassion. For 3 days, stand against the storm, not as its victim but as its defier. Speak against it. Declare over yourself what the world cannot steal: your dignity, your resilience, your worth. And oh, how the body will respond when the soul is spoken to with kindness. Have you noticed how your shoulders slump under the weight of cruel words? How your chest tightens when you berate yourself? How your very skin feels heavier when you tell yourself you are nothing? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine your body lifting with each gentle phrase. Imagine your heart beating steadier with every declaration of worth. Imagine your breath flowing freer as you assure yourself you belong. Your body listens to your words. It has always listened. For 3 days, speak to your body, like it is the temple it is. Tell your hands they are useful. Tell your legs they are strong. Tell your eyes they are beautiful. Tell your heart it is courageous. And watch your body respond with gratitude, with renewed energy, with quiet joy. I know too that some of you carry grief so large it feels like no words can touch it. You carry the absence of loved ones, the collapse of dreams, the weight of disappointments too sharp to name. And I will not pretend that 3 days of speaking kindly to yourself will erase grief. But I will tell you this: words can soften its edges. Words can hold you through the night. Words can remind you that you are still here, still breathing, still moving, still worthy of joy. For 3 days, when grief rises, do not add cruelty to its burden. Instead, speak to yourself as you would to a friend who is grieving. Say, I know you are hurting. I know the pain feels endless, but I will not abandon you. I will walk with you. I will love you. Do you see? You can be your own comforter. You can be your own companion in the wilderness. And in 3 days you may not erase sorrow, but you will ease its sting by refusing to abandon yourself. Consider how children grow when they are spoken to with love. Their eyes brighten, their spines straighten, their laughter flows freely, and when they are scolded relentlessly, shamed, belittled, you see them shrink, you see them curl inward, you see them wither. That same child still lives inside you. That same child is waiting for your voice to nurture, not to wound. For 3 days, speak to yourself, as though you are raising that child again. Protect them with your words. Guide them with your encouragement. Cherish them with your affirmations. And soon you will see that the child within begins to trust again, begins to bloom again, begins to believe again. Do not tell me it is too late. Do not tell me you are too old, too tired, too far gone. As long as you have breath, it is not too late to choose different words. As long as your lips can part, it is not too late to sing yourself into strength. Time has no power over the voice of love. Whether you are 20 or 80, whether your journey feels at its dawn or its dusk, your words can still plant gardens in your spirit. For 3 days, plant them. Let them root, let them grow. And when the fruit begins to show, you will laugh at the lie that said it was too late. You will laugh because love is always on time. Now I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and imagine yourself at the end of those 3 days. Imagine the glow in your eyes, the peace in your chest, the quiet assurance in your step. Imagine hearing your own voice, soft but strong, whispering, "I love you, I believe in you, I am proud of you." Imagine how it feels to finally be your own ally instead of your own enemy. That is not a dream, beloved. That is not a fantasy. That is within your reach. It requires no wealth, no approval, no audience. Only your decision, only your willingness to speak life into yourself, for 3 days. And once you taste that peace, once you feel that power, you will not want to let it go. You will stretch those 3 days into forever. So I say to you again, with all the fire in my soul, with all the love in my heart, for 3 days, talk to yourself like you are precious. For 3 days, talk to yourself like you are worthy. For 3 days, talk to yourself like you are divine, intention wrapped in flesh. Do it for 3 days, and you will never be the same. You will rise, you will shine, you will remember, and the world will finally see what was always true. You are a wonder, you are a miracle, you are the very reflection of God's glory. Speak it, believe it, live it, for 3 days, and then for always.